So here I am, again, using up paint. And it's often the case when you're using up paint, you decide, I need to add some more colours before I can use up the paint that I've got. So in addition to the phthalo blue, Prussian blue, titanium white, black, dark sienna, Van Dyke brown, I think that's another black, alizarin crimson, and the purple mix that I made for the previous video. I've also got, I've added a little bit of sap green, some cadmium yellow and some Indian yellow, because I really fancy making, she says looking around for some brushes, I really fancy making a floral painting. Not done a floral painting for a long time. Now I do have the Bob Ross brushes, the floral brushes. I have a selection of them, so I will be using those. But in addition, now I know they're not recommended, but I do have the Donna Dewberry one stroke brushes. Now I know they're for acrylic, but I have found that they work really well with oils as well. And my concern when I bought them, excuse me, just dropping up on the floor. My concern when I bought them was that they wouldn't last because they were made for acrylics, not oils, and they wouldn't take the punishment. But you know what? I've had them now for about 5-6 months, and I've used them a lot because I use them on when I'm painting glass, and I use them with oils, and I use them when I'm painting my slates and my slate signs, because oils last longer than acrylics when it's outside. And I have to say, they're as good as they were when I first got them. I've added to them as well with various other makes, that's Boldmere. But yeah, they do work. I'm not going to recommend that you go out and buy some Donna Dewberry brushes and use them just for oils. But having said that, they really do work. They're very, very good brushes. Pretty much as good as these. Now these are, I don't know if these are real hair brushes or not, or whether they're acrylics, but not acrylics, they're for acrylics, but whether or not they're what they're made of, I don't know. But I do know that they are good brushes. So yeah, either one, or if you've got other brushes that's your favourite brushes. Now what I'm going to do, I fancied, I need to do a little bit into the background first. So I'm going to take the brush, I'm going to start up here, and I'm just going to scrub in a little bit of colour, just to have something for the flowers to stand out on. Now I'm not bothered. Yeah, now I'm also using, I will point out, a canvas board, which I don't usually use, but I bought a lot of, I bought a job lot of painting supplies, which came with various colours, paints, boards, instruction books, all sorts of things. I've had a whale of time reading them. That's probably why I've not been doing my YouTube videos. I'll just get rid of all these hairs, because this one, again, I've not used it for quite a while, so I think it's got a bit dry and it's shedding like a good one. You'd think it was the summer. Okay, so, and I'm not using the Bob Ross floral colours. I am just using, because I want to use up what's left, I am just using the landscape colours. Okay, you can use them. They're a little bit firm, but when you get used to them, they're okay. Not quite as fluid, but then if you want them a little bit more fluid, then add some more colour. Right, okay, that's one half. The other half, I'm going to nick a little bit of this blue. I don't want too much, just a little bit. We are just doing a hint of colours. That's a little bit strong up there, but I might change it. And because I didn't clean my brush, it's sort of going a bit purple. But hey, I don't mind, that'll do. all just a little bit of background. Doesn't have to be a work of art. Try not to try and ease out the blotches. Dare say this isn't the best brush to be using for that. I probably would use, normally I would use a 1-inch, but I had it in my hand. You know what it's like. You've got the brush in your hand, so you just use it. Am I regretting it? Yeah, I think I am actually. So, change it again. Add a little paint. Now I'm not going over the whole thing at all. In fact, that's not a very good mixing brush, so I'm going to change over to the 1-inch. 1-inch that I was using earlier. Oh yeah! Makes no difference whatsoever. Okay, makes a lot of difference actually, because it's a much sterner brush. It's made of better things. Okay, so as you can see, let's say this is a little bit too so we'll use the brush and we'll lift some of that off, and we'll put some down here. So there we go. In fact, I'll probably add a little bit of white to that just to tone it down a little bit. It is very, very heavy. There, that's a little bit better. Now you've got a melee of colours at the bottom. Melee, you like that word? I do. Okay, there we go. So, we'll soften up this line a little bit, because that's a little bit too... You really want them to blend so that they're very nondescript. Okay, not sure if this is how you're supposed to work a board canvas on your easel, but the only way I could make it stay is actually tuck it behind the little screws that hold the canvases in place. So actually I think what I'm going to do is with the top, I'm going to take just tiny little bit, add a little bit of colour to it, a little bit of brown, okay? Tone it down a little bit because it, okay. Make sure your brush is clean, peeps. So she takes a new brush and we'll just add some colour in there. And again, all it's doing wasn't clean, or wasn't dry rather, but hey ho. Yeah, it's actually lightened it up really well. Okay, that's better. There, from disaster, triumph. How's that? It's saying chitty chitty bang bang. From the ashes of disaster grow the roses of success. Okay. Now we've got to decide what we're putting the flowers in. Now that I've sort of changed all that. Add a little bit of colour at the top. Oh, I see what's happened. In amongst, that's what's happened. I've got a little bit of blue in amongst my, okay, that'll do. Just adds a little bit of interest. Hey ho. We all make mistakes and that was one of mine. So there we go. Alright, just going to clean my brush. I'm going to start by deciding what kind of pot. Now the idea that I had was to draw a sort of a teapot type affair. Okay. So I think we could do with a little pale blue teapot. So I'll take some white. Oh, that's really too bright. Take some more white. And I'm going to add, how have to dull it down. I wonder if a little bit of Prussian blue would dull it down a little bit. A little bit of black maybe. You don't want it to stand out. There, yeah, I think that's a better colour. Okay. So I'm going to draw my pot. I'm going to start with it being about here. So that's the bottom of it. And then the top will be about there-ish, with the pot going round. My spout is going to be there-ish, and my handle, give or take. Okay, excellent drawing. My drawing skills are renowned. They are so good. Not. Okay, so we'll start in up here, a little bit flat, come down and round into my pot. Okay. Then that's my dark side. So we'll have a little bit of a shadow there. We'll have a shadow round here. Shadow less there. We'll have the pot, the handle coming down and into the pot. Okay, so we need a little bit lighter mid-tones. Just add your white. A little bit of the darker tone underneath, and then I need to change the brush because I really need white. I'm going to have my white piece just there. So basically that's my this is a really stiff brush. Maybe I've left some paint in up at the end of it. Okay, so clean the brush. The end of it. Is that not the ferrule or something they call that? Not having had any official training, I don't know the words for it. Okay, make sure it's good and dry. I'm using a towel because it doesn't go very well with that. And then we'll bring it all together. Good old RAF are out and about today. I think I've said on previous video, I don't know if I have or not, but I do actually like to, I love living in Lincolnshire because I do love to hear the RAF practicing. It makes me feel very, very safe indeed. Okay, so, and then I'm going to bring that one so that the handle is actually behind, because if you look, the spout is actually coming down into the pot. So we need to make sure that the handle is dark. So I've decided. Okay, so we add a little bit of dark there, a little bit of dark where the spout is, and there's my teapot. Okay, it's not a brilliant teapot, but it doesn't have to be a brilliant teapot. It just has to be a teapot, because the flowers are the main thing. Okay, and I'm just going to put a little bit of shadow to ground it. Okay, so there's my teapot. Okay, that'll do for that. Now, I need to make a decision now as to where my big roses are going to go. I've decided I'm going to have some big roses in here. I'm going to have some roses in this section, which is why I've left it white. And I'm going to have some leaves and stuff, excuse me, falling over. Okay, so roses. What colour roses should we have? I think we need to make, I'll have some purple roses to start with, but they're going to be pinker purple. Okay, so if I add, again it's the mountain colour, well not the mountain colour, but it's the colour that I made. Okay, long time on for the last video, which if you didn't see it, was, she says, that one. So that's on the last video. It's just sitting there drying. Okay, so I think I'm going to have I want a rose sort of there. I'll have another rose there. I think actually I'll have one sort of there-ish, folding down. So that one's over the side, so we'll fill that in. I'm going to make this a bigger one. That one's going to be facing us pretty much. And then I'm going to do this one down there. And it's going to sort of like hang down. Okay. So they're my three flowers. Now do you see why the teapot wasn't overly important? Okay. Teapot's not overly important because we're not going to be painting that one. It's going to disappear. Okay, now I'm going to go down, that was the 1 inch brush, I'm going to go down to the 1/2 inch brush. Now, I've done the dark. I've done it in quite a thick paint, so I'm going to need the lilac here. Okay. Now, if it's pulling, like I can feel it tugging on the brush, it's too stiff for this job. So I have, oh dear, I think it's in the fridge. It is. Oh bums. And can I get the top off it? That's the other thing. Okay, I've got some linseed oil because I don't actually have. Now I'm going to have to put this down, and you'll have to bear with me because old arthritic fingers won't allow me to open. Oh, yay. Brilliant. Okay, so instead of pouring it on my board, which when I do that I end up dripping it everywhere, she's just frantically looking around for a little dish. I can get in here. One dish. Again, thank you, mother-in-law. Okay, we'll pop that on there. Pop just a little bit. You don't need a great deal. I've actually put too much out there, but rather that than run out halfway. Then you literally dip it in the edge. Don't know if you can see that. Can you? You might be able to. And it just frees up your brush enough. Now you can buy, again, you can buy Bob Ross floral oil, which is a very nice oil. It's very smooth. But as I said, I've had this bumper pack of art goodies, which was amazing, that I bought off eBay, and in it was some linseed oil. So when I ran out of the Bob Ross florals, I've been using the linseed oil, and it works. Okay, so we'll start at the back. You need to start top and shape your flower, your leaf. Okay. Or your petal, should we say. It's not a petal. Now I do find that because of what I'm doing and because it's against a dark colour, do pick up an awful lot of dark. So all I do is I wipe the end of my brush. Don't wipe the whole thing, I just wipe the end of my brush. So we'll come up here. Again, don't know if you can see me. And we'll do one more. But this time we'll curl it round. So I did a flat one. And then I brought it round, because here too, so flat, you'll have a flat. Okay, need some more white paint, tab of the oil, and then start to bring your flowers round. Now you bring your leaves round. I forgot to tap it, so it's a bit darker now. You can do, before you start doing anything else, you can now start to do the next row of leaves, because they will be inside. So now we've got 2 layers on the outside. And that'll pretty much be enough, because I'm going to bring the outside leaves over. Okay, so I'm going to have one from here. I'm going to start it and then bring it round. Then from here, bring one round. Then start from here. Right, that's that one. So start on this one over here. Going to make it a bit brighter, maybe chuck a little bit of blue in it, don't know. Again, as soon as you feel that paint start to tag, and when you're doing this, you will know what I mean. It's a lot silkier. Okay, So rid of the real dark. Again, you're on the side, so they're going to come in a little bit. Going to do the second layer, which will be a bit darker, so I've allowed the colours to go. Then you'll have the next load. Bring them right the way around. I'm going to bring that one a little bit further. Okay, so that's my outside. So because I'm now going to bring in a little bit darker, because as you know, roses tend to get darker as they get in. So again, everything, all your strokes need to go to that corner, need to go to the middle. Okay, these ones, so everything needs to go to the middle. I'm not wiping my brush now because I want them a little bit darker. Back over these ones. Everything needs to go to the middle. Need a little bit darker. Okay, we're going to start foreshortening because these are starting to look towards us. Need a little bit of oil, and I'm starting to come into almost the pure colour. Okay, so that this time I'm not taking off the dark, I'm taking off the light, because we're beginning to pick up some light. Okay, now do a little bit of on the edges. And there's your rose. Okay, that's your big rose in there. Now, because of the little fella at the bottom, I'm going to do basically just bottom leaves, and then we'll add some here. Yeah. That one's hanging down. Now, I don't like it. I don't think it looks very good like that. So I'm going to change it. And here's how you change it. Okay, so what we do is we bring leaves in here. Leave there. I'm just trying to think on how to do it. That's the way. Okay, that there. Okay, I may black that out with some leaves. We'll have to see. We'll have to see what I think of that later on. Okay, so what we're going to do now is take some of the brown, mix it with a bit of green so it's a greeny brown. We're going to put in a few stems, a few calyx. Okay. Okay. And then we'll add a few leaves and some yellow to it, make it a bit, not just, you need to come to a point. Okay, we're going to have a few flowers coming out the back. Okay. Okay. Now, what we're also going to do is some little bits and bobs, little silvery light things. We're just going to grab whatever paint we've got, which is this, a little bit green, a little bit whatever, and then we're just going to go like that, and then we're going to go dab and spin, dab and spin, dab and spin. Okay, now there's not quite enough oil on there, so this needs to be quite thin. So we'll do it again, dab, spin, dab, spin, dab, spin, dab, spin. Okay, little bits off in the corner. Again, lots of colour. looks like some sort of grasses. Okay, okay. There's some coming out here. Going to make him a bit pinker. Again, need some oil. Okay. Okay. A few of those. Going off. Now the brayer ones will look like they're in the background. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is do some white daisies, and I will need, I'm going to use the Donna Dewberry brushes for that. Instead of wetting them, I'll just add some oil. Okay. Oh, I appear to have used too much oil in that one. Okay. Actually, it gives them quite a bit of texture. Okay, so here. That one's, having said how good they are, that one isn't very good. That one's not straight. There, that one's better. That one comes to a point. Okay, I don't always clean them properly. You know, you think you're getting it all, but you can't always get it all. Okay, so we're going to do, I need a bit more, don't want it quite so runny. I'm not finished these, by the way, I've not put the centres in. So we will start by putting some daisies down there, and we'll put some okay. I'll have another. Don't worry that they're picking up colours, that's fine. I'm going to put one here that's just coming out in front, and I'll tell you why I'm going to do that, because I need to pick up the oil that's running down the painting. So if I pick up that, let me go over it with a little white daisy, a little white flower of some kind will fine. We'll have another one here. Okay. Go pick up some blue. You can have some blue ones. Little forget-me-nots. And we have some little blue leaves on here. Okay. And a little bird. There. And have some okay. We can also have, now I did have, let me put that there. I did pour her out a cup of tea. This is going to be cold now, isn't it? Because I knew my voice was going. So, cheers. Oh, cold. Okay, what I would like to do is maybe stick in here. Start with another flower. Okay. Now we've got something out the side there, so what I am going to stick on, we'll put a little stick of lavender I think up there. So in order to start my lavender, okay, that's a stick of lavender. I'm going to have another stick of lavender here. Okay. Then what we do is we go into the white, go over it with a little bit of white. And that's the lavender. Okay, so we've got a couple bits of lavender. I think that'll do me on that one. So now what we need to do is the middle bits. It's the fun bit. Okay. So take your yellows, mix them around. Okay. A little bit of white, please. There you go. A little bit brighter. Okay. A little bit of white. That gets in there. Now make sure you don't do every single one, but it does help locate where your flower is and what's happening, and that there is a flower there. Okay, do that, because that to me doesn't look very flourish. Here we go. Okay, all right. It's been a while since I've done roses. I'm not actually that happy with my rose. This may be one of these projects that gets scraped off and start again. Not overly happy with it. And let's see if I can change it. Sorry, I thought I had something knocking at the door. So, 210. I'm going to change it totally. Okay. I'm doing this sort of I'm doing a totally different stroke here because I didn't like what I did. Okay, so I'm doing an up and a wiggle and a down. Okay, so that's one. Then a little bit darker. Start again in between. A little bit smaller this time. Okay, now I'm going to start bringing some lighter in. Okay, and again a row darker, where we just indicate there. Maybe indicate a few. I think that's a bit of a better rose. I think I prefer that. But this one is going to stay. I'm going to do it like that. There we go. And then if I do another darker row at the back, don't worry about these flowers. I can always put these flowers back in like that. There we go. Okay. Now, a lot happier with that. Go back, put the centre back in place. Okay, still got that one down the bottom. Not overly happy with him, so I'm going to have take my greens. Brown in there. just to push that back because let's say I wasn't overly impressed with it. Just some little curly cues just to backfill. Okay, just to add a little bit. But whatever you add, don't forget that it does have to come from the pot. Okay, and if they come out towards you, okay, a bit like that, and I would actually leave that there. And I will put my signature in the corner, as usual. And hopefully the Donna Dewberry brush is as good as the Bob Rum. And it is. Okay. How to turn a disaster into a reasonable success. There, didn't like the middle rows. Still not too keen on the colour. What I might do is add a little bit of highlights later on, I'm not sure. I'll go away and have a cup of tea and think about it. Why don't you give it a go? See you later. Bye bye.